Imagine this: a young woman living in a society where people judge her without knowing her story. No context, no empathy. One mistake is enough to push her to the edge of survival. Now here's the real question. Does this film actually make us feel that pressure? Or does it just tell us about it? Let's talk about Way Down East. Hi, welcome to Deep Vision. At its core, Way Down East is very clear about what it wants to say. A society that judges without understanding can destroy people, and women usually pay the highest price. That idea hasn't aged badly at all. It's still relevant today. The real problem isn't what the film is saying. It's how it's saying it. From a formal point of view, the film is extremely straightforward. Mostly medium shots, a mostly static camera, very limited movement, a slow rhythm. This simplicity does communicate pressure and confinement. You do feel that sense of being stuck, but for a modern audience, it also creates distance. The film prefers to narrate instead of making us experience the story. Let's talk about the most famous scene, the ice sequence. From a production standpoint, it's genuinely impressive. Real freezing temperatures, real ice, no stand-ups. What the actors went through is dangerous. But on screen, that danger doesn't fully translate. Anna barely moves, which makes sense physically, but dramatically, it weakens the survival instinct, and the male rescue feels exaggerated. Almost heroic in a way that breaks the realism. The result feels artificial instead of emotionally intense. The film tries to balance heavy melodrama with moments of comedy. In theory, that's not a bad idea. The problem isn't that humor exists. The problem is where it comes from. The comedy is carried by side characters we barely know. We have no emotional connection to them, so their jokes don't land. They're not funny, and they're not meaningful either. Instead of enriching the film, they interrupt it. Way Down East doesn't really build a living world. It moves Anna from one situation to the next. The people around her mostly function as tools, not as real characters. Intertitles replace character development. Because of that, the social world never fully comes alive. The critique is still there, but its emotional impact is much weaker. Today, it's easy to read symbolism into the film. The cold as social cruelty, the ice as a broken path forward. But it's very likely that Griffith wasn't consciously building symbols. These elements mainly serve the narrative. The film doesn't hide meaning. It puts everything on the surface. That's not necessarily a flaw. It's simply the language of early cinema. Knowing how this film was made adds a lot of respect. The danger, the physical effort, the ambition, but that value mostly exists outside the viewing experience. For modern audiences, this is less a film that grips you emotionally, and more a film that invites discussion. It's an important document, just not a deeply immersive one. Way Down East exposes gender-based injustice with sincerity and courage. But because of its limited cinematic language, exaggerated melodrama, and weak emotional immersion, it struggles to fully connect with modern viewers. Still, its honesty matters. Its ambition matters. Not because it's a complete cinematic experience, but because it reminds us that cinema, from the very beginning, wanted to challenge society. If this way of looking at cinema speaks to you, feel free to subscribe. Upcoming videos will explore films that aren't just meant to be watched, but thought about. Thanks for watching.
If you want to dive deeper into Expressionism, I've got the perfect next video for you. Click the video on your screen to watch my analysis of the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.